hate puppies. It's good podcast.
I feel threatened. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, week 59 of the quarantine, it seems. I actually have no idea how many weeks it's been. But I'm glad you guys are here. It's good to have you here, and it looks like we got a full crew tonight with all the regular crew is in the house.
We're not here.
Virtually.
I'm here. You're there.
I'm somewhere else.
Yeah.
Still very much the case. Ely's barely even there. We start.
I'm not really here.
Stu's in Napa Valley or something with a little drop top behind him.
A little Malibu.
It appears that way. Do you guys have any vacations on the horizon? I guess you two have places on the water to go to.
Yeah, I'll be there all summer.
Well
Nice.
played. I actually tried to come up with somewhere to go just because I was talking about it last week. My wife was like, we got to get out of here. So we rented this cabin in the Shenandoah River. We're headed there. And the weather report looks like it's going to literally monsoon from the day before we leave till the day we leave to come back. I'm like, hell
Nice.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I'm really psyched that we got like a 700 square foot cabin with no TV and nothing but downpour outside. Well played. That's the best way to get over being locked with your family for 2 months is to lock yourself in a smaller compartment.
It's a different 4 rooms.
Is it just the two of you, or is it the whole crew?
It's the whole crew. Got the kids coming as well.
Oh, okay.
But we were excited because, we're going to be out on the river, canoeing, tubing, all that. But if it's going to pour like
You
that,
can still do that. You can just make it like River Run Wild or something.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of work for Dad. If I got to paddle people around in currents.
Do you have like a portable DVD player or something like that?
I've got the old laptop. I mean, I'm probably going to put a lot of shows on it before we head up there. They've got Wi-Fi, but country Wi-Fi, I'm sure.
Looks like we learned rapid survival skills today, girls.
Yeah. The only saving grace is the dog's never been in water. I could take him out and make it look like an accident.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well, that's going to be some cold water if you're going up there. It's probably not warm yet.
Yeah.
No, considering the high they've had is like 70 degrees and every night it's in the 40s. I'm
Does the VRBO people mandate that you stay a few feet from your family?
yeah.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Okay.
Do you have to bring your own mask?
We each get 100 square feet.
Okay. That's pretty generous. The ones I were looking at were 200.
Do you think they've upcharged a little bit more on the cleaning fees with VRBO now?
I would assume on some level.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
saw
they're probably just not cleaning anymore and just telling you that they are.
Yeah. And enjoy
That's the genius behind all this is no one has any way of knowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did see the little article about some little restaurant in, I don't know if it was Missouri or somewhere, but they added the surcharge. It was a COVID-19 surcharge for the meal ticket, which was city tax, and then $1 extra on a $40 tab because they have to pay for cleaning supplies and shit.
Yeah.
$1?
Like $1.17 on cleaning surcharge.
I like the new thing that everybody's doing. I'm trying to be supportive, but you go pick up your food or you order online and you still get that option to tip. And I'm like, hold on, wait. I haven't sat down. You haven't brought me anything. But I still got to tip you 20% on this order. I know they're like for money. So I'm not trying to stiff them, but it's still like, this is weird.
I ordered dinner from an Italian place the other day, and they just said at the end of the conversation very casually, okay, and you're okay with the 20% tip that we're leaving for staff,
Whoa.
right? It was 20% on pickup. And it was the kind of Italian place that didn't have any prices on the menu when I called them. So it's like I had no idea what I was paying. They never gave me a total, and then they just said 20%, and then I never signed anything. They just brought my stuff out. It wasn't until my credit card statement showed up that I realized how much I had spent on dinner. Well played.
That felt good.
But they told you that after the fact?
At the very end of the conversation, they said, and we have a 20% fee that goes directly to the staff. And the way they kind of put it, what are you going to say?
But
No?
why? So I mean, let's dig into this a bit. Like, why are we doing that?
They're making money. I mean, that's it, right? They just need to get money for the team, so they're gouging or.
Are you saying
tipping.
the team is the same size as it was before? Like,
No.
everyone's.
I bet it's not.
Okay, so that's
Absolutely
my
not.
point.
You've got one manager and no waiters, and then you've got the cooking staff is probably roughly the same.
Yeah,
Right.
but is the 20% to take care of those that are working or those that aren't working? Because I know that I actually talked to somebody who owns a restaurant, and they said that they can't get some of their servers to come back because they're getting more on unemployment than what they would typically make.
I've been
That's
hearing a
across
lot
the
of that.
board.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation because that makes it very difficult to run back to work because it's a lot easier to stay at
It's
home.
like $750 a week, right?
Is
I
it?
think that's a minimum.
I think that's what it is, $750 or $900 a week. Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy good money. Like for if you're used to making waiters' wages to not work, to literally not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it might, even if it's less money than what you're used to doing after you work a 60-hour week, you're like, hold on, it's 20% less.
But they
I'll
don't
just
tax
not work.
They don't tax unemployment as income later on at the end of the year, do they? Like you don't have to pay taxes on that. do you?
It wouldn't surprise me if they did. They tax
Yeah.
everything.
Proud to say I don't know.
I don't think they take taxes out, but at the end of the year, you do pay taxes on it.
It's like someone in the military telling you they pay taxes. You're like, kinda, but not really, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all you're just shuffling money to make you feel better. Why are we doing that?
Yeah, it's like a shell game. And
Yeah,
there
that's
you
exactly
go.
right. Like, why are you taking out 25% of their pay? Just give them 75%.
Call it a
Fuck.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we want to know that you're trustworthy and that you'll pay us back at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I
Good
guess.
times.
It's a lot of
Wow.
fun. Well, I know an Italian place where they're making good money.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I didn't know how
I
I
don't know
felt
that I feel
about
about the forced.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like the tactic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it wasn't like a recommended tip amount. They didn't ask me if I wanted to adjust it. I was told this has been added to your tab. You can pick it up in 30 minutes.
They basically said, "Are you or are you not an asshole, sir?" And then you're like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not an asshole." Like, because usually they hand you the receipt and you can tip whatever you want, and that's your discretion.
Yeah.
But for them to give you the amount, I mean, that's just tacky.
I think I've done, I mean, it's without anybody telling me, I think forever I've done, in this current period of COVID, I've been tipping,
Not the previous COVID.
no, that was COVID-18. This is
Oh, okay.
COVID-19.
Was trying to keep it straight.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I've been tipping pretty good. I mean, just because I thought that's what, is the right thing to do if they're sharing the money with those that are unemployed. But if the unemployed are getting more money, then I guess the money should go to just trying to keep their head above water and not,
Well, that's where that Italian joint went wrong because Brendan was going to tip him 50%.
Right.
yeah.
I would have showed him. I would have showed him what's up.
This one's only 20%, hon.
Dude, my wife
Throw it out. Just throw it in the trash.
My wife tried
Oh,
to
yeah.
tip 10% on a pickup the other night and then was sending me to pick it up. If she wants to be cheap, that's fine if she's picking it up, but don't send me in there with the 10% tip. I was like, and then there was another guy that was ordering.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day, I said. There was another guy over here we were social distancing, hanging out, and he, well, yeah, you have to say that, right?
Call him in. Turn him in.
And
Karen alert. Karen alert.
he tipped 25% and made sure that it was known, and I was furious. I was like, I told my wife, I was like, you better bump that to 20% at least.
Brendan got so emasculated right then. He was
You
so
guys seen
mad.
that picture of Karanos and it's Thanos as Karen?
No, I haven't. But that
And
looks,
she collects all the Infinity Scarves in the manager's safe.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh.
that is the best.
For sure.
Caranos.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. I love it. Dude, I've been obviously staying home teaching the kids, and every week I learn something new. I just learned something about myself that I didn't know. That apparently I'm definitely a metric guy over a standard measurement guy. I didn't know this, but when trying to teach a
Does
child,
that make you feel better in bed?
yes, Stu. It's huge. It's huge either way, but all the zeros on the metric really make it look really big. I'll give you that. But it's like, I didn't know this, but when I'm trying to teach a kid all the 12s and 16s and 14s and like units of measurement, weight and length, I was furious. I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm having to do like full on math and like pull all kinds of rabbits out of a hat. And then I'm like, oh, this is easy. Centa. It's 100. Just add 100. Add a couple zeros.
Ely's going to laugh because if you were a tool guy, you would automatically be into the metric system because when you're going through your wrenches and you know you need a size up, if this is an 11, I'm going to a 12. Like, not a 30 seconds to a 64 to a 16th. Like, that makes no sense.
But I've been fighting that battle forever just because it's like, look, it is what it is, right?
USA.
Yeah. And my whole life, I've just been like, USA. Like, this is where it's at. We drive on the right side of the road, and we use the standard system. Like, damn it. Right. And I still agree with the whole right side of the road thing. What kind of an asshole drives on the left? But we've got to pull our heads out of our ass here. Metric makes so much more sense, especially when trying to do calculations and stuff. Yeah. I'm just like, this makes perfect sense. 100 of those. That's
Fractions
easy.
Are hard.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I didn't know that I was like ever being held back by the man, but we're being held back, man. Metric.
And we're so adamantly against it. We don't really even teach enough of it. Like, I still don't I can't do, and I've worked around tools and with hand tools and done measurements my whole life, and I still don't know, like, I can't do a calculation from one to the other off the top of my head. Like, if you're telling me 1,000 centimeters, I'd be like, I don't know what that means. You know, like, I don't have it in my mind's eye. Like,
you don't know how big that is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know. But when I started teaching it and like having to figure it out again and like really take a step back and learn it, I was like, oh my, this is fantastic. It's so easy just to move decimals around instead of actually doing calculations. Just get it done. I'm all in. We need to go metric.
I'm not going to argue that.
Like, how many milliliters are in a beer? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Does it say on the side of the bottle?
I don't drink bottles, but I don't know if it does or not. 355 milliliters. And now that I read that, now I've realized I've seen it a gajillion times.
Yeah, now that you say it, I'm like, that sounds accurate. But it's like, that makes perfect sense. And that's why everywhere else.
Oh, you didn't let me finish. I was getting ready to say 355.
Everywhere else, you just get a pint, 16 ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What always confused me as a kid was like the ounces to ounces thing with liquid. Like, so 16 ounces is this much volume of liquid, but is it a pound?
That's true. Not. They still screw you up with that. When they go from weight to measurement, they screw you. And that's something I had to learn again. Like, I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't add up. I guess there is no perfect system.
So that's kind of the same thing, like the Common Core math versus what we grew up with. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't learned any of the Common Core stuff. But
yeah.
Sorry, I haven't heard any of this.
Oh, here.
This is great.
I just got hit with a serious diarrhea.
There's a mic drop for you. There's a mic drop.
I was wondering where he went. He just disappeared.
He just bolted.
Yeah, I saw that a few seconds ago. I was like, oh, no.
Can you get that on the board? We need the soundboard because that needs to be on it.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
Well, Ely, you got a new sound drop.
Oh, he's back.
Look at him.
That was quick.
Ely, how you feeling?
I just got hit with a serious diarrhea.
Dude, I had Rico's for dinner. Rico's Revenge.
No, that's those gluten-free muffins.
Could be.
Oh,
almost worth it for those muffins, though.
Dude,
That's
how many liters do you think that just was?
probably a deuce.
22 liters? God!
A metric ton.
Sorry, I was thinking ounces.
Yeah, that's, jeez, a crow. It's
He's
a lot
so
of,
standard.
Maybe a liter-ish.
kilograms.
Dude, I was
like
sitting
you're
here, I
pouring
was
out
all
a
of a sudden,
liter
I
of
was
cola.
like, oh my God.
I mean,
this
you
is
just
here.
disappeared. You just quietly, I saw your mic go mute and you disappeared from the frame. And I was like, oh, he's getting a drink.
Man.
Yeah. But then my phone lit up and I was like, what's going on? Why the heck is he talking?
That
Started
right
getting-
there is a good time to be at home and not in the powerhouse.
Oh, yeah. That
Isn't
would be
A
a
little
that
bit
little
of
the
a,
truth?
had a Dumb and Dumber episode.
Oh, my God.
Both feet straight out in front of me.
Exactly.
Oh, well,
And-
welcome back.
Thanks.
And this is
promise
what the
I'll be here as
listeners. This is
long.
what the listeners tune in for.
Right.
The messed up thing
Direct-
is some of them do. Some of them really do. Not Fiona Face, but
That bitch.
some of the others. Troy,
Hey,
didn't we get a review the other day?
Well, I was on the reviews the other day, and maybe I can look it up real quick. We had all 5 stars forever, and then
Oh, then the one star from Fiona.
then the Fiona Face 1 star, and then if you go down to our reviews, you see all the 5 stars, the 1 star, and then there's a 4 star in there. But when you go down to like look at all the reviews, I can't find it in the in each individual write up. But I'm really curious as to who put a 4 star and what they said about it.
Oh, so they didn't even give us any context. They just said
No,
4
well,
stars.
yeah, I guess they just 4 starred and didn't write it up.
Well, in the metric system, 4 stars is actually 5. So that
Oh,
works.
is it?
That works out.
Well, I'll take it.
There was only one other guy that gave us.
You've worked on enough cars.
Go ahead.
No, I was just kind of. I was just off topic about the metric system. I was saying, Ely, you've worked on enough cars because I feel like every once in a while I'll run into something where you need a metric and a standard, but maybe that's just me trying to loosen the wrong bolt.
Yeah, you do.
Does a car got both sometimes?
Yeah.
Depending
So
on where it's made.
American cars will have both fairly frequently.
Okay, that explains it.
Yeah.
So it's just us that screw it up. But like if you are working on a foreign car, it's all metric.
Yeah, so Brent will be back in a little bit.
Yeah, what
Oh.
happened
Let's
there?
talk about some metric and stuff.
Repeat yourself.
There we go. I'm glad that my internet connection is unstable based on everything I'm seeing on the screen. Ely, what I was asking you was if a foreign car is all metric versus an American car, which is metric and standard.
Well, not all American cars are metric and standard. Some of them are. But yes, foreign cars are going to be all standard. I'm sorry. Foreign cars are going to be all metric. There's some American cars that are standard, but they have some metric pieces in them. Like the 10 millimeter, if you work on cars, the 10 millimeter is like the most common socket on the planet for vehicles. So even a lot of American cars use the 10 millimeter.
Well, and a lot of it matters is each component could be different.
Exactly.
Like if
right.
you have a Japanese component, well, if you're going to take that part apart, it's going to be metric. If it's made,
Yeah.
if the other parts are made in America, that'll be standard.
Right.
A lot of them kind of mirror up, like a 13 millimeter and a half inch, kind of the same thing. You can kind
Yeah, a
of
lot of them will work. They'll just be a little loose.
Yeah.
But you will not find anything standard on any German cars for sure.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
That makes sense,
Nope.
though.
Yeah.
Germans don't play.
But which cars can you put in reverse to roll the odometer back?
All I know is Ferraris, Italians. Everybody saw Ferris Bueller. We're all like, Ferraris are that way. Like we all take that as gospel. I
No.
don't know that it's true.
That,
Yeah.
It didn't work, and it didn't work.
Oh, that's
No,
right.
it
Didn't
didn't.
work.
Just sat still. That's too funny.
Damn.
I did find that meme.
What mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the Karen.
Oh, Stu hooking us up with some visuals. Oh, the mighty Keranos. It's definitely
Yeah.
Theranos with a beautiful bob haircut and a
Yeah.
scarf.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
terrible.
Josh Brolin should win something for that character.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's pretty good
good. For
voiceover.
Yes.
Yeah, he nailed Karanos.
Oh my God. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
The way he wore those scars,
manager now.
not assistant manager, the manager.
Who has the authority to
not,
say
like-
yes?
I get that there's people that aren't into Avengers, but at the beginning of Infinity War, when you're introduced to Thanos, and in the first 10 minutes he fucks up Hulk, that shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this dude's legit, like for real.
I'm not a comic book guy at all, but I go into most comic book movies wanting to like them. I don't know why. It looks fun. It looks like a fun movie.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I'm a Thanos guy, man. He was trying to save the universe.
Yeah, just like the Unabomber, right?
Well, I don't like him. Don't start bucketing me in the wrong buckets. I don't want to get caught up in
Well,
that
how are they different?
I didn't read the manifesto of the Unabomber.
But what I'm saying is Thanos wanted to murder half the planet. That's the same thing, right?
Well, they were running out of food, which is precisely why we should be doing this now. Like the cows are going away. We need to go crazy. No,
that's right.
That's
Yeah.
horrible. That's horrible.
Brendan knows coming at us.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Brendan knows.
Could you imagine? I just changed completely over
Once
time.
he gets all his 6 Miatas.
Done. Done.
And his Boston Scully caps together.
Yeah, exactly. He terraforms into.
He could still get 6 Miatas and still have half his driveway available.
That's the beauty
That's
of
a
the
good
Miata.
point. Yeah.
I drove that thing last week. I was loving it. I've never drove it in this hat though. That
I think they slide up into each other from behind.
Probably.
they only do it from behind.
They
They
nest.
dock- yeah, they dock
nest.
somehow.
Yeah. If you go in face to face, it doesn't work.
Well, it's good I know about this whole standard and metric stuff because with the Fiat, it's the Ford Fiat. You know, Ford owns Fiat. I don't know if Fiat's making the engine, but it's the Mazda body. So
Oh, it's all metric on my Fiata. I mean,
The
Miata.
good news
Jeez.
is for all of your new stuff, they won't let you can't work on any of it. So throw all your tools away.
you need a specialty tool to take the
Yeah.
plastic cover off the engine.
That's about right, dude. I tried to work on my Infinity and I opened it up and I looked at it and went, it's
Yep.
going to have to go to the shop.
Yep.
I was like, I am out. As soon as I started pulling the little pins that hold all the plastic and I started snapping them, I was like, oh, it's worse than it was before. I took it to the shop.
Yep.
I thought you said the only thing holding it in was the oil gas. The oil cap was holding the cover
really?
on.
Oh, yeah, everything fell apart, but it all fell just right. Like all the plastic was just in between, dangerous spots. It worked out well.
That's
The
like
the 710 cap. You ever seen that meme? They're like, I lost my 710 cover. It was oil upside down.
I get it.
No, but even when I had my '06 Dodge Charger when it first came out, I remember opening up the hood and the V8 Hemi that was sitting there, it was just under a plastic cover. I mean, I could literally just pick it up. It wasn't bolted down or anything.
That's how
But
my
it's-
wife's Dodge is. I went in there the other day and I was like, oh man, this is going to be the same problem. And then I just lifted it up. It's not hooked up at all. It's just laying there.
Yeah, that was the car I was over there when you were working on
That's
it.
so
It wasn't your
weird.
Infinity.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. It's like Dodge just kind of lays stuff in there very gently and goes, that'll do.
They're like, you know how we get rich? No more clips. We'll save $1 million.
They will.
It's true.
That's why they do
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at
go
him.
ahead. Sorry.
I wasn't mad at him. Just when I went in there, I could actually get at it. Of course, then I got under the
I guess
cover and
that's
thought,
like a sound buffer.
it just looks good.
I still don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm looking at.
I did that yesterday. I got up in the Forerunner and I started wrenching on some things. And after a little while, I just wrenched them back, dropped it off at the shop today. I was like, this isn't it.
You lefty loosey a couple times and went righty
Yeah.
tighty and called
That
it
was
quits.
basically it. Like I moved it and I was like, and I like pushed on it and then tightened it back up. I was like, I don't even know that that's what's wrong. And I just
And the funniest part, the best part about it is that later in the evening, you probably told somebody you wrenched on the car most of the day.
I literally,
Brandon, what have you been up to? And out back underneath the forerunner
That's
all
right.
day, just turning wrenches,
you know.
banging up. Look at my hands. Look at my knuckles, man.
All right, I would be lying if I. This is the God's honest truth. I sat in the backyard and drank a beer with oil all over my hands. So my wife saw me, and I was like,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I was working on the truck, but then I realized, that could be a bearing, and I don't have time to get in there.
You
and
wouldn't
fix
understand.
it. Yeah.
I tell you, but
This is man's work. Leave it to me. Leave me alone.
Right.
Some asshole put a standard part in there, and it's a
Right.
Japanese car. I was like, you know what? Someone screwed with this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
I did
he's
sit
taking
there,
a nap.
though.
Meanwhile, he's taking a nap underneath the Forerunner with a White Claw cover, trying to fix his muffler.
Yeah.
it's like, I'm all out of blinker fluid over here. I'm just going to drop it off at the shop.
Yeah.
Top it off.
Muffler bearings are all out of whack.
Yeah.
I
Muffler
did.
bearings.
I went in there, I wrenched on it a little bit, then I tightened it up. Then I went in the garage and came out with some like fluid, like coolant, and filled up the coolant reservoir. And I was like, nailed it. That was not. But while I was in there, I did notice I was low on coolant, so I'm glad I took the time.
Yeah.
Brendan's shop.
Handy as fuck.
I was so proud sitting there with grease all over my hands, drinking my beer.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of oil and grease, at my house I had the driveway resealed, and I had the guy do it with. He said it was an oil-based sealant and not a water-based sealant. They sprayed it. It took him like an hour to redo the whole thing, and had the first rain, I guess, last night, and the water just beat it right off of the oil, off the sealant. And I was trying to drive the car up my driveway, and
Slick
front
shoes.
tires just started spinning and spinning. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I got out my flip flops. I was like, this is like ice. I was like, this stuff has got a seal. Almost busted my ass. So I guess it's going to take a while for it to cure.
How long does it do that?
I mean,
Eternity.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's going to eventually it'll just kind of bake in, but it'd been 3 or 4
Crumble
days.
up some of that gluten-free muffin and sprinkle it across the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you all kinds of traction.
Yeah. And the other thing I saw was if you guys happen to watch the NASCAR race. I
No.
watched the NASCAR race yesterday. No fans. All the pit crews were in masks. The drivers were out there racing. They didn't even get to do warm-up laps or qualifying laps or anything. They just set them out there and said, go for it in Darlington. And then Kevin Harvick won his 50th race, and he's doing the donuts by himself in front of nobody. I was
Dude,
like,
riveting.
"This is horrible.
I'm
He
completely.
normally does donuts by himself, though.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm completely starved for sports and had no idea they ran a NASCAR race. That shows how far down. Like, I am aware that they're showing Korean baseball on ESPN, but I
They're-
missed NASCAR.
They're running 7 races over 10 days between 3 tracks in South Carolina and North Carolina because they're the only ones that are quote unquote open.
Those cars are going to be exhausted. It's a fucking.
I watched that.
You should get Brendan to work on them.
Yeah, it's all good. Roll on. Look at all this oil.
I'm all
Covered in
into
oil.
IndyCar right now because I watched that IndyCar show on
Yeah.
Netflix. So
Oh.
I'm like all in. I know all the drivers now, and I'm going to try to keep up with it. But
Did they
Probably
did they talk
won't.
about the guy that I guess was like 4 or 5 years ago? He got a shot because he was the best online like driver,
I don't know who that is.
FS1.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
going to drive.
He literally they had a contest. One of the manufacturers,
iRacing, you're talking about?
yeah, put it out there, and the guy won everything, and then he's got a shot, and now he's like on the circuit. He went from virtual to reality, and
Well, the virtual's picking up. Like the iRacing stuff is paying big money, and those setups, man, they're like 10, 20 grand to set up in
Dude,
your
a
house.
buddy of mine is in the e-racing stuff, and he qualified and got to race at Indy virtually and came in 5th place and was saying how cool it was to they did a bunch of races back
Yep.
when whatever day Indy was supposed to happen, and then the race he drove 500 miles. You know,
Did he win any money?
he didn't mention it.
Huh.
Those things are sweet, man. Those setups have so much like haptic feedback in the
Oh,
wheel
yeah.
that like as you're speeding up, it's harder. Like you're feeling the pressure, and it's
Right.
like it's pretty sick. And they have some that the monitors will come all around you, and so
Yep.
you're really looking. You can look around and see where the other cars are. I mean,
That's so cool.
it's pretty
I wouldn't
impressive.
leave the house, I feel like.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, I play Forza on my Xbox like a dork, and I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
I think when NASCAR 99,
Like Michael Scott of racing.
Yeah,
I think when NASCAR 99 came out for Xbox or whatever it was, I played a whole season in the Palace one semester, 4-hour races, finished the whole thing. Got
yeah. They
sucked
started
in.
that shit with that Molly Hatchet song. That's all.
Yeah,
Every
and
time I
then-
hear Molly Hatchet, I think I'm playing NASCAR.
That's when I figured I
Is
had
that
to.
flirting with disaster?
I think so.
No, that's like Skinner or something. But I think I know what you're talking about.
That was when I realized I had an addictive personality to car racing games. I never played it again because I wasted a whole, 3-4 weeks playing 4 hours of racing every day.
Yeah.
There's worse fates like heroin,
True.
but that's about it. It's like racing games, heroin. You got to be careful.
You might
with
get
that
laid
shit.
with heroin though.
That's true. No girl ever comes knocking on your door at
Yeah.
4 a.m. saying, "Give me some of that NASCAR racing game."
You're
Right.
so fast at that e-racing. Let me give you that pussy.
So speaking of, what was it, fans and this, no fans for the NASCAR race, what was this you were trying to tell us about some club putting fake fans or something, Brendan?
Oh, in the Korean soccer league right now, there's a lot of places that are starting to do this, like put mannequins in seats to make people feel more normal.
Don't say a lot of people. That's not real.
No, well, they're like, all right,
It's so real life.
the inn at Little Washington, up
They
in,
say there's some weirdos that have done this. That's how you should have started the statement.
okay, there are some people that are thinking this will make it less awkward if you do it. So they're putting like the inn at Little Washington
It
is
says
a great
may have
example.
used.
It's a Michelin 3-star restaurant, which is like unheard of, and they actually have they're putting mannequins in the seats so that when people eat, they're socially distanced, but they still feel okay, and they're putting them in like 1940s clothes, which I don't understand why, because the inn at Little Washington's been there forever.
Yeah, sitting next to mannequins will be so much more comfortable than having an empty chair. What?
Yeah,
No
I
one
don't,
says
I don't,
that.
I know, I don't get it. But this Korean football club decided what they were going to do is put mannequins in the seats, and they say that the guy who was in charge of ordering them accidentally ordered all sex dolls, and so they've got a bunch of real dolls all up in the stands, like spaced out to give the illusion of, the actual, fans.
They all have the open mouth.
No, they have masks on, so you don't see their blowjob mouths.
That's great.
Because you take that mask off, you're like, yeah. But some of these things have like ridiculous like nipple situations going on and different
Whoa.
things. Like I was zooming in on some of the crowd because that's what normal people do.
For nipples.
And there's like clearly these are sex dolls sitting in there, open mouths, buttholes, like you name it.
How do you know so much
You
about
can
these?
zoom into their butthole? Jeez.
I've got a hell of an internet
What kind of
connection.
computer you got?
Yeah,
These
exactly.
HD cameras are crazy.
But I just found that hilarious because the guy's like, "Oh, we didn't know," but the fact is that some of the signs had like players' names on them, but a couple of the sex dolls were holding up signs that had the names of the porn star that they were modeled after. So obviously the guy knew what the hell he was doing because they had a porn star's name up there.
Where was this? What country?
South Korea.
Soul.
So you're telling me there's not some tech wizard in South Korea that couldn't do this digitally? Put fake fans.
You know what, Troy? How come no one's brought that up? That makes perfect
Does it
sense.
cost more than dolls? What do you mean? Why
There's
would
no
it-
way. It
Those
costs more
sex
than
dolls are expensive, man.
Compared to TVs and digital doing it in every seat?
If you
Dude,
just
they
put
do that stuff all the time now.
if you just put green tarp over everything, then you could hire Stu to do it. I mean, he put in
You can digitally,
fans.
you can, well, yeah, you can do. I mean,
What
it's
are
the
you
same.
talking about?
It's the same principle as putting on, like when you watch a football game, an NFL game, they see the first down line on the field. You can
We're not-
digitally.
the fans
put
aren't for the people
on
at
there.
home.
Well, that's
Are the fans
that's
for the people playing the sport?
no, it's to make it not look so weird to the people watching from home. The fans in a normal game, yes, are for the people in the stadium, right? Like you want to have a home field advantage. But the reason they're putting these out there is for the optics to the viewer at home, not because someone's going to score a goal because there's more sex dolls in the stands. I see you got this wide-eyed look on your face like I've just eaten a bat.
Yeah, I'm just dumbfounded.
But I think that would work.
No.
They're talking about potentially piping in crowd noise at NFL games and stuff just to like give the illusion of a home field advantage, which I think is crazy because obviously you could cheat if you start doing that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, like
That
I'm
doesn't seem
moving
right.
deeper into the woods.
yes, I know. Well, I
So
looked into
if
something.
Fucking hate all these people.
I just read it a little bit deeper into the article, Brendan and Elliot's. The idea is that instead of using the cardboard cutouts and putting the real fans in or whatever, the mannequin dolls, they look more real to what people are seeing on television, yet they're not zooming in to the fans. They're staying, on the players on the field, but in the background, just you see these people in the stands. But to Brendan's point, you could easily digitally input, put those people there. I don't know. Maybe it's cheaper in Korea, but maybe they've got a thing for sex dolls. Who knows? They could charge you $50 more to go sit next to a sex doll.
NASCAR and sporting events started doing this years ago where they have different color seats. And that way, when you're paying back, it looks like a bunch of people in there because
Yeah.
it'll be blue, red, yellow, white, green, or maybe not even that drastic, but they'll be like dark blue, purple.
They do it in the
Pale
cheap
blue.
seats often. That way the upper levels look full.
Well, it's the same thing that the Flying Squirrels did here locally. You get,
They just tarped all the seats.
well, what they did is they tarped up the second level so that everybody had to come down. Makes it look, you got more people there.
Yeah,
in a
everybody
smaller
does that.
space. But it's just,
That's what the Skins have been doing for years. They've been ripping out seats left and right.
They actually have.
They used to be the largest stadium in the NFL, and now they're not even close.
Yeah, shit got bad for the Skins.
I'm sure it'll be different this year.
This is their year.
Yeah,
This is the one, huh?
mm-hmm.
We shall see.
That's what they say.
Assuming they even play.
Just like the Bengals.
God.
Yeah,
That
don't
was
even start.
what was the NFL just signed that deal? Didn't we talk about that? The NFL signed the deal with Prime so that you can, because if there's no fans in the stand, at least you can watch it.
Well, they haven't
Remotely.
officially signed any of that stuff. The NFL is still under contract with DirecTV for this season, and nothing's been released about officially who owns it going forward. But it's very likely it's going to be a streaming service of some sort. That much is pretty much a foregone conclusion because I don't think they're going to have exclusivity anymore,
That's true.
which is good for everybody, but I don't
I'd
trust
say-
bandwidth.
I mean, I say if one person could die, I say we just shut it all down. Because really, what's the point?
Yeah.
Well, have you heard how they're talking
Science.
about? They're talking about just sending all the players to like hotels in Vegas that aren't being used. You lock down the whole team. They just stay together. You test everybody all the time, and you just play in one city. You keep everyone in the same city in lockdown in hotels.
So
Maybe.
Vegas will be renamed NFL betting city,
It
and
already is. There was an
So-
interesting. I don't know. Mark Cuban was talking about it. That guy's got some ideas. That's for sure.
Did you see the problem they were having in Vegas with the shutdown? Because there's actually no locks on the casino doors because they're open 24/7.
How is that possible that you don't put locks on casino doors? I mean, I get the logic of they're open all the time, but
There was a small handful of that they were talking about that, which kind of made sense. It was like if you're Vegas never sleeps and people are coming and going, you got security 24/7, but then all of a sudden you just shut everything down. I mean, I'm sure
they never
added-
sleep, but they lock.
I mean,
They
I'm
lock
sure they-
individual doors all the time, so I don't understand why they wouldn't have locks on their doors.
It was pretty interesting. It's like, well, they got to figure out how to shut down the main front doors, I guess. But then again, they got more security than, typically.
ever since the MGM Grand burnt down in the 40s. No more locks. It's a safety thing. Thank you, Vegas. You
Not how
care.
locks work.
Yeah.
You've learned your lesson. I
Ever
appreciate
since
you.
Brad Pitt fucking went there with fucking Clooney and wiped him out,
Yep.
they've been the same.
A little tiny Asian fella in the box.
That guy is the best.
Works every time.
Yeah.
He's the only one I want on my team. Brad Pitt can go screw Clooney. I want that little dude.
Did anyone watch?
As long as he brings his sex dolls.
Did anyone watch the other versions of those movies?
Ocean's
The only one I-
12.
There was 11. That was 11. Then there was 12, and I want to say 13, and then I think 8 was the all-female cast.
That's the only one I haven't seen is the all-female one.
I
think I've seen 11 and 12.
I haven't seen all of either of them. I've seen pieces of them, but I've always heard they're
I don't know.
Did anybody see the original?
Like
Oh,
from the 50s,
Yeah.
60s?
Yeah.
No.
I never saw that one.
No.
No.
Fuck that noise.
So do you think we're going to have a lull in movies and production and stuff?
No,
from-
we're about to have a glut of movies. All the ones they didn't release. Like nothing's come out in these 2 months, so there won't be a lull
Yeah.
because they've all just not come out. So then production will pick back up. I bet you don't miss a beat.
But they have to figure out the platform for us to see them.
Right.
Well, I wonder how that's going to go because, a couple movies have been released direct to streaming and have actually done very well. And so now,
Have you heard the price points of those? I heard someone say like the Trolls movie came out, and if you got it at home, it was like $20.
yeah,
to rent or purchase?
It
Yeah,
was.
to rent.
And my girls have been beating my ass for weeks. Rent it. And I'm like, it's $20.
That sounds
That's
ridiculous.
cheap.
I was
It
gonna say,
is,
but that's
but-
so much cheaper than going to a theater.
But there were other movies that came out that that didn't do the $20 price point. But Trolls had a huge opening week.
Yeah, they did. They
Because
did
of
very
this.
well.
Like it killed. So I don't know. I don't know what studio it is. So guys will email in and beat me up. We'll call it Universal.
Right.
But
You're
but-
wrong.
I see, and it starts. But
No, I
they
don't know.
said
I just wanted to disagree with you.
they said that it went so well that they're going to start releasing movies like that. And because of that, one of the major movie chains was like, then fuck you. We're not taking any of your movies going forward. And they're at a flat impasse where they're not going to take any more of
Yep.
their movies and show them. And
It'll
they're
be a
saying
whose
that,
dick is bigger competition.
yeah, basically, because they were saying they were going to release online for home viewing and in the theater. And like one of the major cinema chains was like, then screw you. We're not going to show your movies at all. Good luck. Like
It
trying to
reminds
flex.
me of the argument we've always had, or we haven't had, when we discussed the way the breweries work, where you have the distributors, they're just mucking it all up. It's like, why not just make a good movie, put it out for $20? A family of four can watch it at their house for $20 and be happy as hell to watch it. And yes, some movies are epic. Like I saw 1917 in the theater. That's going to be better in the theater. But how many movies come out like that you have to see in a theater?
True.
That's
I
it.
was talking-
If it's not an over the top, experience like Avatar was better in the theater. You can't do anything about that.
Now, I did not see
In
the
the
theater.
theater.
The theater,
It's good in the theater too.
Yeah.
both places.
Yeah.
But
my
I'd go
dad-
to a theater. I would never be caught dead in a theater.
Right. That's why you like
So-
the metric.
my dad and I were having this conversation about with everything that's happened with the COVID and what they would propose.
He knows about that?
that. Yeah, he got past it. But the movie theater is going to be, I would imagine,
Yes.
moving more forward to things like Cinebistro versus the general like seating population, kind of like right on top of each other. Because if they're going to implement these rules of physical distancing and wiping down, well, how are you going to justify somebody paying and you can't have as many people in the actual theater? So it's going to be like I think the movie experience itself, which when there are epic movies that come out or you want to go see like Avatar or whatnot, it'll be worth going to the theater. But the general production movies, they're going to go straight to streaming. You can buy them or whatnot, and the whole movie experience is going to be a completely upper echelon type of scenario. And there's the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree that we're doing all these stupid fucking things to keep Karen and
Yes.
Brad happy?
Yes.
But yeah, we've discussed that
It's
at
Kyle.
nauseum. I mean, I think,
Isn't it
yeah.
Kyle?
Karen and Kyle.
Well, there is some truth to the fact that we're also worried about a pandemic. I mean, clearly, we didn't know what this was. We didn't know how deadly it was going to be.
But we're
So,
behaving like it's killing 20% of the population, right?
Yes. that
Yeah,
is
this
true.
would be the
Correct.
same. Yeah, this is the
But
test
that's my
run.
point.
99.8% survival rate. And
Who slaughters the economy for a test run? Like, it's okay. This is just a test run. Like, what?
yeah,
We're making
Yeah.
people homeless to test run for the next one?
Yeah.
Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're gonna be screwed for a while.
Thanos.
Finding silver lining, I understand that. Like, at least we're better prepared for the next one, I guess.
but it's
Well,
everybody's.
We've been desensitized for the next one.
I mean, businesses are doing what they're supposed to do, quote unquote, but at the same time, they're doing it so that the one Karen that comes into the, to the store and
There ain't one
complains-
anymore.
Well,
There's-
true.
And except you say businesses, but the Krogers, the Lowe's, the Home Depots, the Target, all the big businesses are open. Any small business has been shut down. So everyone who was a mom and pop, everyone who had a startup, get fucked. Oh, but if you're part of a corporation, keep fucking making that money. And that irritates me. I don't like that. I mean, it was the worst part about moving out to the suburbs to start a family was getting away from
Mom
the
and
mom and
pop.
pops.
Yeah.
And everything that was cool with living in a city. I love that part. And we've talked about the stories of all of us moving out here, Brennan and I not know each other and looking for cool mom and pop places, local places to support, and it's just there's not a lot out here. And then, God forbid there was one or two because now they're gone. It's just not going to work.
Well, speaking of mom and pops, I think Center of the Universe is kind of a mom and pop brewery, right?
Hold on. Speaking of mom and pop, I'm going to take it back just a hair because these beers here, this deli tonight, not only did our boy Ryan Parker sponsor the deli, but he delivered them to my house. Now this was awesome,
Nice.
man. I was literally standing outside in my yard drinking a beer, unannounced. I hear this, hey, I turn around. Ryan Parker from Tao Insurance is literally standing in my driveway, and he's like, hey, man, I got you guys a deli you should try. And I was like,
That's what I call
Mom,
service.
That's what
That's
I'm
right.
talking about. I was like, my man just showed up unannounced, which I actually love because he knows I'm not going anywhere. He hears me every week. He knows what's up. He showed up, and he also knew, you know what, this dude will be standing in his yard drinking a beer. And sure enough,
Nailed it.
but I threw him for a loop. I was drinking a scotch because I'm a grown up. But yeah,
And you were out of beer.
and I've been running low on beer. Yeah, so his timing was impeccable. But yes, our buddy Ryan Parker, who's been helping out with the delis, has been working with us over at Tao Insurance. And if you don't know, he can actually help you with home insurance. He can help you with auto insurance, life insurance, annuities, Roth IRAs. If you got a new business, if you are going to start a mom and pop business, compete with all of these big corporate dicks, he can help you with your business insurance. He can help you with your farm insurance, which is more popular than ever. I don't know how many conversations have been had over the last couple months of people like, bro, should we get chickens? I feel like maybe we should
Yeah.
get chickens. Like they take care of themselves out here. If you're going to start a little farm, if you've been making all this sourdough bread like everybody else out there and you're thinking, hey, I think I got a future in baking or harvesting wheat, this is your boy. Ryan Parker will be able to take care of your farm insurance. Really everything but health insurance. Classic car insurance, which I desperately need because I've been working a whole lot on my cars lately.
Yeah, you have.
And umbrella insurance if you just need to cover over all kinds of shit. So he can help you with all of it. Like I said, sans life insurance. That's the one thing he's not.
That
gonna be
umbrella
doing.
insurance we bought a few years ago. That's really good insurance to have. So reach out to him and he'll hook you up. He'll cut your deals. So hit him up.
Yeah, if there's ever been a time to consider insurance, how about now? when like
Yeah.
everything's in flux and you got literally nothing but time to figure out what the hell is going on in your life. And it's real easy to get. You literally just dial 804-855-4567. Again, that's 804-855-4567. That's Ryan's direct cell phone. He's going to send it directly to, he's going to pick up the phone, no call center, no nonsense. And you'll get Ryan on the line. Tell him ITPH sent me. Troy, is there an email address?
Yeah, you can also email him at Ryan@Tao Insurance. And it's TOWE Insurance. Insurance spelled out. Ryan
Easy
Tao
money.
Insurance.
Easy money. And
He's very accessible.
it's extremely accessible. And he's a fan of the show, always has been, and hand delivers 6 packs of
Delis.
beer. Like, well, I don't know if this is a deli yet. It's being considered for a deli.
It's a deli. It might not be a deli winner.
Yes.
It's a deli.
So if I sign up for insurance, do I get 6-pack hand delivered?
I'm not going to say that, but
You
I'm
cannot
going to
confirm or deny.
I'm going to let you believe that. I don't know what the legalities are of handy, but I can tell you this. If you get insurance with him, he'll have a beer with you. Well, in August.
Exactly.
But give him a call. So what he brought us this week, and I'm excited about this. This is Ray Ray's Front Porch SIPA. This is Center of the Universe. So people here locally in Richmond are familiar with Center of the Universe beers. They make some good stuff.
Co-2.
Yes. But the question is with Center of the Universe, all their beers aren't great. So this is going to be interesting to see. Like, what I like about this is a session IPA, hence the SIPA.
Right.
And I kind of just love the name of it. Ray Ray's Front Porch SIPA. I don't know Ray, but I'm about to find
And
out if
SIPA
I like
is
him.
S''IPA. Get it? IPA. And it stands for Session India Pale Ale.
Which makes
It's an
perfect
acronym.
sense. 4.5%. I like it. But we're going to see see how it tastes.
So if you've never been out there, it's right off 95. If you've been up and down 95 through Richmond, when you get north of Richmond, you get out to Hanover County and you get out and there's 2 or 3, or actually 3 or 4 now, massive RV sales places out there. There's a
It's out
Camping
by
World,
Mick.
there's an
I know what you're talking
Airstream,
about.
there's McGeorge's. They're on the other side of 95, and there's actually an RV park right next to them, and people go there and camp out and hang out and just walk next door to Center of the Universe. And back in the day, they did all kinds of cool stuff where they do openings and whatever, have bands. I've been out there a few times and had a good time back when you could interact with people.
Weird.
Pretty cool, yeah.
I've had 2 sips of this beer. Ryan, I'm sorry. Ely's never going to vote this very high.
No.
This tastes like an IPA.
For sure.
Oh, it smells like one.
Get
I
a
haven't
quarter
even
point
tasted
for the Labrador.
I do like that Labrador on there. I will give you that.
I can tell you you can definitely there's a whole story going on from one side of the can to the other side of the can that gives it, the whole push of sipping on the front porch, but it's a busy can just to begin with.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Stu?
I think it's I don't think it's a good thing.
Oh,
I think you
no.
need to be simple. I mean, I like the dog, like Ely said, but 2 colors fading from daytime to nighttime from the front porch. I mean, I guess they're saying it's day drinking at nighttime. You're all day, but
and there's someone who grew up out in the area. Ashland has adopted the moniker Center of the Universe. Like, that's their tagline. Like, if you live in Ashland, you live in the center of the universe. I don't know why. It's a small little sleepy town with a railroad track that runs through it that basically is the highlight of the town. And they've been saying it for as long as I can remember. And I think, and obviously that's why they came up with Center of the Universe Brewing.
The birthplace of delusion. Because they are the furthest thing from the center of the universe. Damn.
Well,
they're not even the center of their county.
Exactly. That is
so there's no flavor up front.
Huh.
Tastes like weed. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know. I
that's,
just get it on the back end, not up front.
that's Snoop Dogg.
Typical.
All right, I'll go first. This I don't like IPAs. I don't like hoppy IPAs. This is a hoppy IPA, but I do have to say, this has a little bit of funk to it, but it's not overly funky. It finishes funky, but not extra funky. So I don't mind the taste of this beer overall. And actually, as you drink more and more of it, it's kind of less funky. I don't dislike this beer. I don't know if I'd hunt it down. I don't know if I would buy it, but I think hopheads would like it, and I think this is a decent beer. I can't give it a 2.5 because 2.5 is a little low. I say a 3. I don't mind this beer. I would gladly drink this entire beer.
Well, that's good. That's what they were going for. Stu, what are you thinking?
I'm not really digging the fact that it doesn't really have. I just don't think it has much of a. I don't have much of a upfront flavor. It just kind of goes down a little bit easier, but it just lingers. I think. I feel like I got this coat on my mouth from sipping it, and I'm not an IPA fan either. But just I can drink a beer. The marketing's not really doing well for me, so I'm just going to give it a 2.
A 2. I what I like about this beer is that it's a session IPA, so I like that it's 4.5%, but still has a bunch of hops in it. So it's got some hop kick. It definitely lets you know it's there. Like it's not a fake IPA despite being sessionable. So I like that. Like if you are a hophead and you're looking for something you could drink all day, you'll like this. This actually has a little bit more hop than an all day. And all the hopheads out there know what I'm talking about. So this has a little more hop profile than an all day IPA. So it actually might be more enjoyable if you're looking for a sipper. So in that respect, it's good. It doesn't have like citra hops in it. It's more of a skunky hop than like a citrusy hop, which I prefer a citra hop. So in that respect, it's not my favorite, but if you are a hop head, you might like it. Definitely skunky, 4.5%. For me, as far as a session IPA goes, it's a 3.5 because it is a good IPA that's still sessionable. As far as a session beer, though, like it might be a little much, so I'd give it a 3. But because I do like hops, I'll give it the 3.5. So we're at a 2, a 3, a 3.5. Unless Ely gives it a 5, I don't think this is coming home.
Who told you?
The secret is out.
Yeah.
Well, Ely,
No.
real quick before you give your review, we forgot to read the label. I don't know if Troy wants to do it, or I can just read it off the
Go
screen.
ahead, Stu.
So the way Center of the Universe is putting out there, they're saying Brothers by Blood, Brewing and Beer. The Rays craft this beer for the hop-loving sipper who enjoys their libations both day and night. Light in body, full of flavor, and made for drinking, which kind of is just a different version of saying what Brendan said. He went along the same lines as, kind of the all day, but not quite. And he likes the session. So Ely, what you got? What you got going on? It's a high number,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it tastes like an IPA. There's no awesome intricacies to it. It's a 2. It tastes like
2.
shit.
Okay.
That was about right where I thought you'd rank it.
Yeah.
A solid 2. So we got a 2, 2, a 3, a 3.5. Unfortunately, Ryan, this week you did not bring home a deli winner, but you did bring us a deli. And I got to be honest, that was pretty awesome.
And you can bring the insurance savings to all the listeners. Just set them up and tell them ITPA sent you.
And that is the
And-
key.
A 2 from Ely for an IPA isn't that bad, honestly. Like, it's not a re-endorsement. I mean, but he's giving out 0.5s and 1s. And
Yeah. It's a good point. I probably should have given it less.
Yeah, I think a 2 is like, oh, thank God I only broke my pinky finger.
But we don't want to discourage people from bringing IPAs or different versions of IPAs because was it last week the week before we gave the deli to the
phase
IPA
change.
wet hops, the phase
Yeah.
change. So
Yeah, the
it
phase
just
change
depends.
did a great
you
job.
never know what you're going to get though. I mean, so Don't let the fact that some of us may skew away from my.
Oh yeah, it's just because I don't like them.
IPA.
So yeah, absolutely.
But that's what
I'm
makes
cool.
it so great when one does win.
That's
I'm
right.
pulling the team down.
That's fine. That's why we want to do it. Like that's if you're going to be good enough to make everybody happy. Look, you can't make everybody happy. So when it happens,
Nope.
that's a fantastic beer. But everyone has different tastes, and that's what makes it. That's what makes this so special. Is the random group we are.
Bingo.
Nailed it.
All right, I'm going to piss Ely off for a second.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
geez.
Let me
I
hold
love
on.
this part of the
I don't
podcast.
need this.
Buckle down.
So we all know our favorite bar in Ocean City is Secrets. Secrets is
Obviously.
the greatest
Okay.
the greatest bar ever.
True story.
I mean, it
You
is.
think that's the greatest bar on the East Coast? It must be, right?
If you can find me a better bar, I'm willing to entertain it, but I haven't
Yeah.
found it.
It's not even fair to call it a bar.
It's a complex.
It's a compound. I mean, it's
That's even
insane.
better. It's a
Club-
compound.
That Club La Vila's like that down in Florida, wasn't it?
Remember that place, Panama
Yeah.
City? My
Yeah.
God. Yeah, Club La Vila was great.
Isn't that like the biggest bar in the country or something? It's had some kind of.
I don't know. I was literally
Something like
locked
that.
into a corner like the whole time.
Yeah.
But Secrets is great, man. They got a distillery in the place. They've got all the different bars. I think they have 7 different bars, and each one of them you
Yeah.
can spend a whole day at and be perfectly fine with. And then you got your part that's out in the water that's just to die for. But their main competitor, there's really 3 bars in Ocean City that all kind of interchangeable, but really it's Fishtails and Secrets, and then
Fagers.
some people like Fagers, and I think
love
you could-
Fagers.
Fagers.
yeah, Fagers is great. It's got a great setup, but it's not really, you can't like lounge out in the water, but you are on the water. But Fishtails,
Secrets
doesn't-
a day, Fagers at night, and Fishtails at night.
Yeah.
that's basically what it always does. It's Secrets all day. Where are you going? Fagers. Boom. It's like, and then one night you'll go to like one of the others, Purple Moose, Brass Balls, whatever it may be, and you'll be like, why didn't we go to fucking Secrets or Fagers or Fishtails? And that's kind of how it works. But Fishtails has introduced a policy that they're I don't know how real this is. We're going to have to Snopes it down the road, but they say that they've got a way that they're going to deal with social distancing going forward. Now, at a beach bar, I don't see how this is possible because the whole point of a beach bar is to just
At any bar.
but the
a
beach
fan
is
bar.
even more. Well,
Well, the beach bar, at least you have space. But like any bar, like I want to go and interact and mingle with people. I don't want to be 6 feet away from everyone.
no, but so I tend to agree with you. But here's, in order to encourage social distancing, they have created inner tube
Come on,
tables.
man.
And Ely just saw the picture. These are inner tube tables. They look like giant walkers that go around you. They have wheels on
Brendan,
the bottom,
you know what it looks exactly like?
bumper
This is
boats.
fake,
No,
right?
it looks just. Here's what it looks like. If you've ever played any card game at any casino, if that table wrapped all the way around the dealer, that's what it looks like.
But then with an inner tube around the edge to
Well,
make
yeah,
it beachy.
but instead of the padded thing around the edge, it's a inflatable inner tube.
Yes. And it's
Is
literally
this Babylon B?
No,
Like
this
a
is-
bumper boat is what it
yeah,
says.
it literally looks like a bumper boat. There's social distancing tables. And how many drunk people are going to start slamming into each other just
Oh,
to see
yeah.
the sumo bounce, you know? Like these things are ridiculous. If you're anywhere near an internet connection right now, you got to look it up because these people look like assholes.
What are we doing?
This
exactly.
What if the DJ plays like a mosh pitty type song?
yeah, and everyone's just bumping into each other.
Hey, babe, want to get in my tube? How you doing?
Yeah,
Come on
you're trying to
over.
grind with. Hey, how are you over there?
Well, then you
Yeah.
just piss right under it, right? You don't get out of it to piss.
Yeah,
The only good news, I mean, oh my God, how do you get out?
you could totally be bottomless and no one would know.
It-
Yep.
it is the
I
most
guess you got a table to sit your
ridiculous-
beer on, which is cool.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, I could be okay with like if it came in fashion to have a little tiny 6-inch bumper table around me that I could put my beer on, but I can't
Yeah.
deal with a 6-foot bumper.
Having a little tiny 6 inches very fashionable.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Some say it's too big.
I'll be here all
just
night.
saying. 6 is too much to some people.
Yeah. I don't really like them big anyways.
Just enough for my pint glass.
More about the width of it, not really the length.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
See how girthy my table is?
Is that metric or
It's like a
standard?
chode table.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. My table's about 12 inches deep. It's like, how'd you get such a big table? But these things are seriously ridiculous. I mean, they can't.
Oh, yeah.
Are they? They can't really
That
open
can't
up
be real. That
and,
can't
and,
be real.
and be putting us in these things, can they?
You just
Honestly-
really getting in them, are you? Unless it's like people see it like a carnival ride and they're like, "Ooh, let's go put these on."
I
Could
don't
it-
think. Look, honestly, I don't talk work a lot here, but you guys know what I do. I don't think that's going to be allowed for
That from a
multiple
safety
reasons.
standpoint,
From a safety standpoint, yes.
because you're
Well,
trapped.
Well, tricks on you. They're widening all the doors.
They'd have to widen the doors to no doors to get 5 people out of that door. It'd have to be 30 feet wide.
Well, you see how much
You-
lacquer's on those things? They're extremely flammable.
Yeah.
It did say that those were the proposed drawings and proposed setup for when they stop doing takeout and everybody comes back and wants to stay 6 feet away. So
As in other words, you can there's a line for Karens, and if you want to get in the Karen,
Oh,
line,
open a
get
Karen
an
bar.
inner tube.
Just the Karen section, like non-smokers.
Yeah,
over here.
it comes with an inner tube.
Actually,
And a
they
scarf.
should just make those available to people and charge money. That way,
Yeah,
if someone
same.
wants to be safe, they got their stupid table, and then everyone would go,
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere near that person who's thumping through the dance floor.
Let you know who the dummies are.
Because oddly enough, yeah, I'm back in. Once we start saying, "Hey, if you want this, it's on you," I'm totally cool with that because we can all point and laugh.
well, it's going to be. I mean,
You can sit your beer down on her table. Hold this. I gotta go.
Don't
piss.
put your beer
Yeah.
on my table, bro.
Right.
I mean, I'd be all for like restaurants and clubs like that. With a sign that says, "Hey, enter in at your own risk." We're
what?
We're
Hey, whoa!
We're
That
we're
would
we're,
something a free
we're
country would
classic.
do.
We're classic Coke. If you want to go do new Coke, it's over here.
Yeah, because it's funny you mentioned that. I gotta think there is a market for businesses that are like, "Fuck you" and these stupid rules.
Exactly.
There's
And
got to be a
this-
market for that, right?
There's going to be a market for both.
Oh
There's
yeah.
Probably like the places where you get your own individual cabana and you and your group gets to sit in there and no one else can breathe
That
on
makes
you.
sense.
And then
That's
you've got
cool.
places that are, because this is the same thing that happened.
But
when
that's
they-
already a thing. That's already.
Yeah,
a
that's what I was
thing.
going to say. Individual cabanas made
Yeah.
sense before because it's a cool idea. It's not
Table
cool because
service,
you think that
bottle
you're going
service,
to
yeah.
live longer.
The
So
only
if
thing
I,
that's different is when you go into a restaurant that's acting like the way things used to be, you're just going to have to sign a death waiver like you used to in high school when
Yeah,
you played
that's
football
exactly
and said,
right.
I'm not going to sue you. Let me go have fun.
well,
Yeah.
remember when the smoking sections, remember when they enforced smoking sections? It used to be
Yeah.
that you had 2 different sections and you could just go and you had your people who didn't like it and who did, and that was
And
fine.
they were on the other. They were like 10 feet away from each other. Like
But now all of a sudden they said, no, you can have a smoking section, but the place has to be non-smoking. And remember, for a little while
Just
there
total
were,
horseshit. Why
but-
do we do
Yeah.
that?
but there were bars, remember, that catered to the smokers. They would build
Yep.
like a phone booth and they called this the non-smoking section. And then they
called
allowed people to smoke.
Caddies in Midlothian.
It was, and it works
Yeah.
for a while, but it doesn't work in the long term because the novelty wears off.
Well, we've all had multiple siblings and family members die of secondhand smoke.
No,
Oh wait, yeah, that's right.
No.
No one never had.
that's what it's actually a pretty good, example of how.
If secondhand smoke killed, I would have been dead a long time ago.
Yeah, because you used to have smoking everywhere. Then they went to smoking, non-smoking. Then they went to non-smoking with a fully sectioned off area for smoking.
The
And
first 18 years of my life in a vehicle had smoking in it.
Hot boxing it.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
As
but
Bill Burr would say, that's the people from Louisiana. Smoking with kids in the car.
That's
Hey, Dad,
universal.
can you crack a window for what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you see Louisiana is one of the few states in the country where vehicle deaths have gone up during the pandemic? There's less people.
Wow.
There's less people on the roads and more Louisianans slamming into trees than there's ever been. What is that?
Correlation, causation, horseshit. Who draws? Like, who gives a fuck? Why do we assume that has anything to do with the?
It
pandemic?
doesn't. It's just funny that it's like there's
Is
less
it?
people on the
I think
roads.
I see it as a worthless stat that no one should give a fuck about.
That's
there's like
No, because I think the counterpoint is, I think across the nation people are driving less, so road deaths are down, right?
but that's it.
Percentage would be up.
Yeah.
No. It's the
What?
number of
No.
deaths. The number of deaths, not percentage of drivers on the road. Like the numbers of deaths in Louisiana have gone up, and from car accidents, despite less people being on the road, and they don't know why.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense. It's just like they're like, why is this?
Because
Well, I mean,
they're
is it fair
drinking
to
more.
say that the level of blue collar is far higher than in fucking New York.
So
Well, I
you
can
think
tell you
maybe
straight
most
up.
people are still working, so it's like
Oh,
no
yeah.
different.
Oh,
It's
well,
just
not
actually
only-
that could make sense because they're saying that like Virginia on the whole, and I'm just using Virginia as an example, the ABC sales for the last 2 months have been at holiday levels. So we're all drinking a ridiculous amount of booze. Like the entire state is drinking more than they ever have, but it's only the government
But
regulated.
are they? Again, we go back to this question. Are
Yes.
we?
Yes.
Yes.
But we're not getting
They
it at the
are.
alcohol at the ABC store. So the ABC store, I mean, so the bar sales are down. So is it not the
Oh,
same?
I see what you're saying. So if
Right.
all the
Like-
sales have come out of the private institutions. So yes,
Right.
we have
It's
the
just-
drinkers are drinking the same amount.
Yeah,
You
it's
may
like
be
our argument
absolutely
about
right.
food. It's like we're still eating the same amount of food physically.
That's a
It's
good
just-
point. I'm willing. See, and this is why I love arguing with you, really, because you give me counterpoints that make sense. That actually
Well, my
makes perfect
counterpoint
sense.
my counterpoint would be this: my alcohol consumption is up 50%, 75%, and it wasn't. It's not. It's
Hold
not
on.
because
Did you just give a range of 15 to 75%?
no 50,
Oh.
50, maybe 100. My point is, and y'all know, it wasn't. It's not because I'm going to less bars. I'm drinking at home way more than I was. Not because I'm going to bars. I'm at home way more, so I'm drinking at home way more.
Well, you weren't that much of a bar guy, honestly. You weren't.
no, because I was too busy.
Yeah.
Well, but to Ely's
But now
point,
I'm not
I don't
busy.
know that it has anything to do with you being home more. I mean,
Well, I
maybe
was
that's
just-
it, but
It's less busy, is what it is. It'll be. I went to work all day, and I got home, and I had kids stuff to do until 9:00 every night, and then I just go to sleep. Now it's like I'm at home all day, or go to work all day, and then get home, and I have nothing to do from 5:00 on. So, all right, let's crack a beer.
So, but to Ely's point, which I had the fortunate pleasure of running into the Guinness representative for the state of Virginia, and he said,
he's in the back of your trunk right now.
"Yeah,
He ran
said,
him over, Louisiana
he's-
boy.
He said that capacity, like the capacity to sell beer and the consumption is the same, but he hasn't sold a keg of Guinness to anybody in 2 months, but their volume out of grocery stores and your total wine, like the volume's almost the same. It's not quite as high as it usually is, but
Okay.
they're so people are still, to Ely's point, they're drinking the same amount. It's from different places.
But they're not all. Because to Troy's point, I mean, there's people that are they're home all the time, so they're drinking more. But
Breaking news:
True.
keg sales are down. Yeah, not everyone has a kegerator, so of course keg sales for Guinness are down.
Well, that's his point.
But the
it is
point is,
interesting psychology though behind drinking more because you're home often. I think like that to me
Well, there's also stress. I mean,
doesn't.
Well-
Yeah, I guess that I can see that as it, but like the whole.
You're not a drinker, so you really don't even get it.
Well, no, that's not that because at the end of the day, it's about having a vice. Whatever your vice is it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. You don't. Your vice isn't drinking.
no, he
But
went and
the
bought a
point
hot
is-
tub, and he
but-
gets in the hot tub all the time.
A vice, people treat vices the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you do it when you're bored, no matter what, and it's like. I don't know. I just
So
have
when
a-
you say that about drinking, you do it when you're bored. So like maybe life is in the way, so you don't drink as much. Oh wait, there's no life going on right now.
yeah, but
So
to
now I'm
Ely's
gonna
point,
drink
though,
more.
people whose vice is adult coloring books are probably coloring more than they ever have.
right.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not doing as much, but I started cooking muffins and cookies. I put it out there. I mean, I've been doing that shit since we were on lockdown. If I
You
get
gotta get out of the
bored,
driveway.
yeah, if I get bored, shit, if I get bored, I mean, I start baking, and not the kind of bacon you're thinking about.
Which is probably up as well.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Which
I mean,
would translate better than you talking about fucking easy baked muffins.
Hey, look, I got one
Stu's
person.
got his easy bake oven. So.
Yeah, got the light bulb. It's 100 watt. It's putting out the heat. No,
Let's
I'm
go
just
into this, Mark Stewart.
I don't think you. I don't think everybody has to be bored. I don't think if you get bored, necessarily you're going to start drinking. I think
No
you'll
one
find
said
another way
that.
to cope.
Actually, this is a weird sidebar, but Ely, I was telling you there was something young Jimmy told me the other night that I thought was funny, and it kind of translates here.
Yeah.
I asked young Jimmy the other night, we were sitting on a Zoom, and I was like, have you been wearing masks out in public? And he was like, actually, there are a few times that I've been wearing masks out. And I was like, oh, really? So you're worried about it because your state's not really on lockdown. And he was like, no, it's because I'm drinking during the day and I don't want people to smell the booze on my breath.
That kills
So
me.
I'm putting the
That's
mask on. So he's literally, if you see young Jimmy with a mask on, it's because he's drunk in the middle of the day and doesn't want people
Yeah.
to smell his booze.
I like his style. I like the cut of his jib.
It's pretty brilliant. It's pretty
Yeah.
brilliant.
The forward thinker.
So, are clubs going to be, are bars or restaurants going to be like they used to say, oh, you can't wear a hat into the restaurant because we got policies, don't want you to cover up things or bandanas, and now we're going to mask, and it's there's this whole issue of like things that were outlawed and now they're going to be acceptable for.
I'm going to have a social closeness field party at my house just to say.
There
fuck
you go.
all this shit.
Just hug it out. Everybody's got a hug to get in.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
hell
it's
of a
gonna
cover
be,
charge.
It's going to be like it was 3 months ago. That's all. Normal.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it normal.
Yeah, normal party I could deal with. The cover charge of a hug, it depends on who I'm hugging.
Yeah.
It could freak me out.
Yeah. Keep
And
your
I want
germaphobe
first.
ass at home.
I want first hug.
That's why I don't want Brendan to come to the hug party because he's that guy.
Yeah.
He's Karen Light. He is worried
sure.
about dying.
Mortality is not a weird thing. Like a lot of people think.
Well, we've
about
lost so many great friends over the past 2.5 months, so I get why you understand.
We lost Eddie Haskell today.
Who gives a shit about that guy?
That was a weird one. It wasn't even Corona related. It's like every death now gets
Yes, it
promoted.
was.
Oh, it was?
Well,
No,
that's what they'll tell you.
It probably was.
And we also
His neighbor's
lost.
dog's veterinarian had it. So
I had a friend text me that today on a group text. I was like, Leave It to Beaver was on like 57 to 63. Like, even in reruns, that shit was like, I didn't watch the shit.
It's
out of that
amazing.
show.
Every death now gets put out there. Like B-list celebrities from the 50s. They're like, holy shit, we lost Eddie Haskell.
That dude did nothing other than Leave It to Beaver. Like,
Yeah, we also lost Fred Willard. And
Well,
yes,
was-
and we know
he
Fred
was
Willard
hilarious,
from
yeah.
Anchorman, if nothing else.
Well,
I mean, Fred Willard was hilarious, but that
He was
wasn't
a ton of
Corona
stuff,
related. It was just,
No.
yeah.
he just died in his sleep.
says you.
Yeah, it says you.
I
You should-
apologize.
You, of all people, should know. He
How?
hugged somebody. He hugged somebody 3 months ago and died.
Actually, that adds up.
Yeah,
Now it makes
Duh.
sense.
science
Fucking, what a slut.
nailed it.
He's a hug
oh,
slut.
man.
The worst kind.
And
Well, I do
Brendan,
have to-
you're a touchy feely dude, so you're gonna fall back in at some point.
Oh, I can't wait to fall back in. Like, honestly, I can't wait. The whole thing is really foreign to me. It's really odd. Like, I like people to know I'm around, you know? The whole thing is weird. But I don't see anybody. Like I
Dude,
said last week,
I
the
don't see
cancer.
I don't see how you're staying sane, dude. I get to go out and about, and you've been locked up for 2.5 months, and
I'm
you're-
literally in the house. It's very rare I get out. Like, it's crazy. But I got the kids. I actually just got over the hump, like, because of this. my wife and I always argue about how old a kid should be.
Because of this?
No. Actually, we argue less. We argue less about random shit, but we've always argued about at what age you can leave a kid home alone, because I've just never known. You know, I've never had kids.
This is the time.
No, so actually, just recently, I will run out and do like a 30-minute errand.
Yeah, of course.
Leave them home.
Do that.
Yeah, but I had never gotten over the hump, but I've been cooped up for so long that I'm like, but part of it is that I don't want to load the kids.
You don't want
up,
to take them out,
drag them out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Screw this. Like I got to do stuff. So I'm doing a couple of these. Where like, hey girls, I'm gonna run out for 30 minutes and make it happen, which is very new to me. I mean, I just don't know. I mean,
I don't understand the not taking them out thing. Like that's,
it's just harder to deal with kids. You know what I mean? In general, like they touch everything, they run around. It's just like they're just crazy. I don't want to hear them fighting. I want to get in. I want to get out. I want to come home.
In general, not because of this drama you're saying.
But it only exacerbates the issue that all of this shit's happening.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's taking a kid out with you makes the trip last twice as long every time.
Yeah.
And then in this side, instance, it's like you're thinking about other things. So I'm just like, if you could just stay home, I'm going to run out and take care of, whatever it is we need to take care of.
See, we don't have any interactions with anyone high risk, so we legitimately haven't changed our life at all. And it's weird to where when you interact with people, you don't know how bugged out they are.
No, right. You can't tell.
I'm going to go in and hug you like I normally would, but I got to wait and feel you out to see if you're fucking weirded out right now. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But
so you haven't known anyone who's even been sick with it?
No.
See, that's...
I mean, I've friends of friends.
I mean,
second layer or second connection people. Yeah,
we have a friend who, and I don't want to call him out by name because of the sensitivity of the situation, I guess. But we have a friend who's been on the podcast multiple times, who's been in the ER twice in the last 4 days with corona. Like keeps going back and forth. He's on his third week now dealing with it, without getting into too many specifics. But that's been crazy, and it's a dude that you would not expect that.
That sucks.
It does, but it's like I feel like I keep coming across people who have it. So I also think maybe it has to do with your orbit.
I guess, but I'm like I literally cannot say I know.
But I don't know that I would change anything if my friend had it. Well, what the fuck does that have to do with me?
Right, but I was saying I don't know somebody. I don't know if I personally know somebody that's either positive, asymptomatic, or actually has it. Or I don't have anybody. I don't know anybody that's got it.
I know one person, and it's a neighbor friend of mine, and I'm cool with it. They're just going to quarantine, and I'm not going to go over there, and it's that simple.
Well, that's how you should treat it.
Yeah,
I mean that's it. You don't go near them.
I mean it's not shunning them. I mean it's just
right. Hey, but the neighborhood shopping center that's a mile down the road needs to completely shut down because he's got it.
Why? Did he go in there? Do you know something I don't know, dude? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying that's an I think the overreaction.
Yeah, that's shit like that. That I'm like, this is insane.
He seems to be doing fine.
Well, that's good, and I hope he continues to stay that way. I
love the article today about Sweden, which is where we're all headed, which is what we should do.
Still saying about the argument that everything else is going to be way worse than the number of deaths.
But I don't know. I mean, because part of me feels like I used to think when we say everything else is going to be way worse, that most people don't care about what we're talking about. Most people don't think that losing the way it was is a big deal.
Well, no one's going to attribute domestic violence and suicide and alcoholism and all these other things rising to this. They're all going to be their own thing.
Right.
But they're not. They're all mental issues, and they're all coming of what you're going through. I mean, this is not easy for some people.
and it's easy to say, F the economy. It's like, no, that's going to be detrimental for years to come. And, I'm stressed out and I'm lucky because my wife and I still get to work. I can't imagine being, a family that lost both their incomes. Like, what are you going to do? Like, how you opened a hair salon, you and your wife, you have a landscaping company, and she has a hair salon, and you just got told to pound sand for 2 months.
Yeah, and imagine that you had lost it all, and it was because of a horseshit reason.
Right, because you're somebody.
Like my business burned to the ground, but all these cocksuckers are roaming around Walmart and shit because this shithead in this building.
Okay, so if that's the argument, I get that. That's the one that I think Troy was alluding to earlier. That's so interesting. Is it's like all of these people had to shut down, but the rich get richer. The big corporations are still open, and they're doing business at a clip that's above and beyond what they had before because everyone else did shut down. So now you have to do your own yard work. You have to go do your own thing. So you're buying more stuff from the same, dozen companies. It's crazy.
Who made the arbitrary decision that it was big box that gets to stay open and mom and pop had to close? Why couldn't nobody reverse?
That wasn't. There's no decision.
But no one said that. That's
no
us.
Decision that made that.
That's our reaction.
It just is like it's not just big box. You can go to Elwood Thompson's. It's just the fact that most people shop at the big ones.
Yeah,
I know, but the problem is not a problem, but which I didn't realize till a week ago. 5 and Below was open. What the sign said was no more than 10 people in the store at the time. 5 and Below doesn't do anything for anybody except take their money to spend on Chinese crap.
5 and Below is literally crap. Like if I need a Frisbee or a yo-yo, which I can't believe are essential.
Or candy.
But what I'm saying is that, they decided to make sure that no more than 10 people came in. All right, fine. But that's essential, or you just can't let somebody do the same thing. That's what I don't understand. Like the rules, certain places only allow 10 people in, but then other places are allowed to have thousands.
That's the point. Imagine
and some are shut down completely
because of some arbitrary horse shit.
That's what's crazy.
Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, and then what the governor said today about going to the beach this weekend. The beaches open up Friday for Labor Day weekend, but don't bring any loud music. Don't bring your boom boxes. Don't bring umbrellas. Don't do anything fun.
Wait, it's fucking Labor Day already?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Summer's over. Summer's over.
Holy shit. I'm really
Hold on. There was really a mandate about music. Is coronavirus transmitted by music?
Exactly.
Everybody knows that.
I mean, if you actually look
on Labor Day it is.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I think there's 6 or 10 guidelines that were put out there for
Memorial
Virginia Beach.
Yes, we know that.
Stu doesn't.
Stu doesn't know that.
Yeah, but I don't think that's it's irrelevant though. You can have it.
If I said it was Christmas, you might point it out.
So
is the problem that if I have music, everyone will come running over to my towel?
Yeah, but do you
know
the name of that track? I love that track.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's my jam. Everyone shows up. Yeah.
No, but he said it in his.
Do you mind if I spit in your face?
Do you guys hear about that new Pitbull song? It killed 1,000 people in Virginia Beach this weekend.
Mr. Worldwide.
It's that Daffy Duck song.
I just thought it was crazy because he said it in his conference. He's like, if you guys break these rules, I'll shut it down again. I'll shut the beach down again. Nobody go back. I was like, what the heck?
So we're making arbitrary rules. No music. Safety.
Follow the leader.
I'm just watching the smoke come out of Ely's ears on the screen.
I try to put myself in his shoes, and I try to come up with, because the pressures and the
it must be ridiculously difficult.
Yeah, the pressure that he's under. Like, I don't think any of these people are evil people. You know what I mean? It's just they have so many different strings being pulled, and they have to worry about so many different things that they almost have to do this dumb shit.
Or
You know
the
what I mean?
pressures they're put under to satisfy those groups of people that helped him get into office.
But even that, it's like with the lack of information coming in, he's
that's-
trying to make moves without information. And every time he makes a move, then more information comes in and he realizes, oh, damn it, that was draconian. So then it's like you move one way and then it's like, oh, damn it, there's new information coming in. I got to shift back. Like it's a pretty difficult
Yeah,
situation.
because as many people as there are don't want him making these decisions, there's equally as many that do. So he's hearing both pieces of it.
Well, here's where all the bureaucrat comes into place. Like, if you say shut down forever, you're a hero. Like, but if you say open up one day early, you could be an asshole. So that's
Right.
why they're all like, shut it down. And of course, they're government, so they're always getting paid, so they don't have to worry about it. It's like you got to look at it from the other person's angle,
Yeah,
and they don't do that.
Well, that's
Right,
the thing. We
there's-
don't know who's going to win. You know,
there's no downside to their situation. That's the problem for us.
Right.
Yep.
there's also no way to know who was right when it's all
Right.
said and done.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if the deaths go really, really low, then they get to go, we did it. We shut down. We saved the
Hold on.
world.
Really low. They're already really, really.
But I'm
low.
saying, so like as they go down, then
Yeah.
it justifies the belief that you should have shut down. But if the deaths skyrocket, then it's like, oh, I should have
No,
shut
they
down
would've-
more.
No, if the death skyrocket, they'd just say, look, it could have been higher if we hadn't done what we've done.
Yeah, there's always that counterpoint.
I'm telling you, the scariest part about it all is that this, again, is like terrorism. There's more coming. So let us do more pillaging your butthole.
Yep.
This is a
In the name of safety.
Yes.
it is a simple scapegoat for across the globe for government and big government to enforce their will because they can ride it. They can ride the coattails of a medical or health emergency.
I don't mean to get too political, but I mean, isn't this the exact case for libertarianism across the board? It's like you can literally just come out and say, here's the facts. Stay home if you don't feel safe. Go out if you feel fine. What I'm doing doesn't bother you if you stay home and like let the chips fall.
Right.
That's-
That's the way
yeah,
that we're
that's what
supposed
we
to be
want.
governed right
Yeah.
now.
But isn't
That's the way it
that
should
really,
work.
I mean, right? Like if I feel uncomfortable and I want to stay home all the time, then I have all the facts in front of me. I should just stay the fuck home.
Right.
That's my choice. And if
and
I
what-
feel like
yeah.
I'm not in danger, I should go out and take whatever risk.
We don't
there
live
is.
in that world. We live in a world where you have to force a business to have a smoking section and a non-smoking section, or
It's just
you got to force a business to have they can't have anyone smoking. Like that's where we live. We don't. You have to force someone to make a cake. You
I didn't, and
like,
I don't mean
those
to go
policies-
political.
Those policies are like those beliefs, and the reason why it makes someone like me so upset is because that so many people don't give a fuck about any of that. That's what bothers me more than anything.
Yeah.
It's like this whole thing has been eye-opening to me as to how
Many people get in the queue and just go with it.
like I do not like society because of this whole reaction and response has shown me how so many people that I had deemed rational are so willing to be irrational at the drop of a hat.
Fall in line, yeah.
That's truly to me. I was talking about moving back into a neighborhood and like, yeah, now that I see how fucking insane everyone is from this,
You're out.
I'm like, fuck that, dude. There's no way.
But
They're
doesn't
all
that kind of
insane.
make you the ultimate social distancer? Like you don't want to go back in the neighborhood. You're going to stay isolated.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're not necessarily. It's interesting to hear you say it because you're not necessarily preaching like these people are all sheep and idiots. You're like, I don't even want to be around them. I'd rather just distance.
Yeah, but that's all.
No. I'm
Haley's
preaching that they're all
argument's
sheep
a
and
whole-
idiots. That's why I want to be away from
Yeah,
them.
But
Ely's a whole
that's
different-
why you distance, not because of a health reason.
Yeah,
because,
he's a,
No,
he,
no.
all right, I got you.
Ely is a people person. If he could live in a neighborhood with the people he wants to live in, he would gladly live in a
Right,
neighborhood.
for sure.
But being that there's so many idiots out there, he doesn't want to socially distance with those idiots. So I'm with him. I mean,
The fact that there are people that think that a lot of the stuff that was going on right now is normal or makes sense, is mind-boggling to me.
yeah.
Well, none of it's normal. I don't know how many people think this is normal.
Well, no, is
It's more than acceptable.
okay and acceptable. That's what mind-boggling to me.
All right. So riddle me this: if 25% of the people who caught this did die, then you would be all in on these measures.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm just
No
saying.
one's-
I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to figure out where the line is. So say when this happened, right? It turned out that the death rate was really, really high. Then you'd be like, we made a good call. It's just that the death rate turned out to be low. That it's the extension of it now, I guess, that's making you frustrated.
Right.
But we
there's
all
one-
jumped in off the bat to socially distance and shut down. We all did that because we all thought it was going to kill 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10. We were all like, all right. And now the numbers are coming back going, it's not that bad. And we're still foot on the gas. Like, let's just keep it going just to be safe. It's like, we can't just keep it going.
But I
to
don't
be
know that
safe.
we are foot on the gas. I mean, the vast majority of places are opening up, right?
No.
Am I wrong on that? I mean, my belief is that
There's
everyone's trying
phase
to
1,
loosen.
phase 2. There's different in Virginia. I mean, the governor said something the other day, and then the city of Richmond said, we're not listening to the governor. We're doing our own thing. There's still a lot, and like Ely's pointed out, Karen, it doesn't matter what anyone says. Karen's hook, line, and sinker.
I think there's
good luck reversing Karen.
You're not.
There's one thing to be said that if it was a true pandemic and 25% of the population, up to 30% of the population was dying from a virus, then you can easily see where you'd have 1/3 unemployment for the country. But we have less than 0.01% contracting and dying from the population, but yet we're already getting close to 1/3 unemployment because of our reaction.
Not contracting and dying. That's not a true statement, but I get
Yeah.
your
Well,
point.
I'm saying,
I guess my for
I would
lack
say
of a better
Overreacting,
term-
yeah, with you.
right.
Yeah, I believe we have, but we didn't know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the other side of the coin is we didn't know what we were dealing with. So,
But we did. So the whole time, this has never been a conversation of anything more than 3%.
Correct.
And the whole story was
True.
we need the whole distancing was to flatten, to not overwhelm
Yes.
the medical. It wasn't that if we didn't, half
which
the
we've
fucking
done. I
country
mean,
would die.
we have essentially flattened the curve. I think it's actually been successful from a medical standpoint. Like if you just look at it through that lens.
And again,
And
yeah, 'cause
how do
nobody
you
showed that.
how do you qualify a medical sense?
By
And
taking out
standpoint.
all the other shit that's gone wrong. That's how I classify it as a medical sense. If you want to look at it from
No,
an
but
economic sense, this has been a fucking disaster.
No, but even from so there's tons of unemployed healthcare workers. There are tons of doctors who are not working. There's tons of money going out because they decided, we're not going to do anything. I mean, it would have been better just to, more than likely, the natural path of it would not have overridden.
Well, that's not accurate. We weren't prepared for it. Had we just let it go, then we would have all ended up like New York was, and then we never would have caught up. It would have been a nightmare.
Geographically, we would
Yeah, I
not
don't know
have
that you
ended up
know
like,
that. That's just what someone's telling
No,
you.
I don't know that. And that's the whole
Yeah.
point. But I can't say that you do know that.
No, I totally
just
agree.
as equally that
Yeah.
I don't know that. But I'm
Absolutely.
saying that's the other side of the argument is that had we not, we could have been in a real problem. So I do stand that side of it. I think I don't know about the draconian ways we went about doing it, but we had to flatten it somehow. Which
Y'all are making me second guess myself. Can we close this out? I feel like I might get COVID just being on this call with you guys.
I think
There's
Y'all
people
are so
wearing masks
logical.
in their car.
Yeah.
that's
You
ridiculous.
you want me to be around and live around people that think they should wear masks in their car?
No, but if you think
I need one now, obviously. They
had
talked
we
me out of
had
it.
like the medical system ready to deal with it, right? Then we would have not had to do any of this stuff. I mean, that's
Who
the
has
crux.
medical system?
But your assumption is that the medical system wasn't ready to deal with it.
I've been told
They were. They
I've
were
been-
totally ready
I've
to deal
been
with
told that. I don't know that.
No hospital's been full since.
I
this
do know
started.
that when it hit New York, they weren't ready for it.
Okay,
And that was
so
just
New
one
York-
city.
New York is all right.
But they were
Yeah.
told to do one thing to take care of it, which was actually the wrong thing to do. The way that you take care of it is like if somebody's, you don't put them on a respirator. There's so many policies that they said this is the way you got to take care of a COVID patient that
Well, we
are
don't know any.
ineffective.
Yeah, that's a fact. We didn't know enough to even know what the right move was. So we were thinking it's all these things that we needed to have in place, and that may not even be what we needed in place. Ultimately,
Right, which
I'm just
just
trying to play
goes-
the other side of the argument because I don't want us to all end up on the
No,
same.
I totally agree, and we need you to do that because it
know?
could get spiral
Yeah.
out of control the other way.
No, I totally I agree with all of that. I just think that the biggest problem from day one was a one size fits all policy was the wrong way to go. Start local, let each county, let each city, let each state, let regions deal with how they feel is best. Let the businesses deal how they feel is best instead of having one person, one figurehead say this is the only way in and out, and that's it.
Well, so to that point, we kind of did do that in regards to
Yeah.
the fact that we do let the governors made their own decisions, right? Which is great, and that's from my perspective, that's a huge thing.
That was
Yeah,
actually a step in the right
states-
direction.
States should make their own decisions.
For
Yeah,
sure,
that was
exactly.
a step in the
Now-
right direction.
The governors, though, probably should have had some sort of, more, hey, if these
Like a
policies are
meeting.
being, just more of a, not so much, like Stu said, a one size fits all. In other words, hey, businesses, if you do X, Y, and Z, you're free to do what you want to do. You're
But
free
they-
to open.
That's
as
it.
long as
They
you have-
panicked.
What's that?
They panicked and they saw, okay, there is a one size fits all policy, and so they panicked and just kind of adopted it
exactly
without
right.
looking at their individual situation and saying,
Right.
hey,
There was no
It's not just
consensus.
it's not
There's no
just
consensus.
it's not just looking at their situation. There's a lot of politics involved there. So you can't be like a second and third level tier Democrat and go against what the other Democrats do.
no, then you're screwed. They're not going to support
Right,
you the next
exactly.
round.
So you have to follow suit with like kind of what they're doing. Same thing, obviously, on the Republican side. But so it's reacting to what other people did, and it's wanting to do what other people did instead of being like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah, and then instead
No.
of like really making a big change or your own idea, you change the shit in the margins way out here, and you go, I'll tweak this, but you're still following the main.
And then at the
plan.
beginning, though, you got to realize people are so freaked out. We don't know anything that to have a solution that says people can still do these things is almost suicide because people are not going to settle for that. You know what I mean? Kyles and Karens are going to eat you alive if you're like, oh, the rest of the country is locking down, but we're just going to do a half lockdown here. Like you'll get eaten up.
Yeah, like all of a sudden Chicago's the one that's just wide open. Screw this. You'd have
Right,
riots in
yeah.
the streets.
Exactly.
So you're
Right.
screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah, you are.
The tone was set.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. The
But
tone was set.
But then the second question after that begs: at what point do you pull back the reins and realize, like, when do you start to see data and the tide shift to where you're like, all right, maybe we need to start reeling this back in? Like, do you even agree with this like, what is this phased approach?
I don't
like,
even
it
understand
makes
the
no
the
sense.
phased approach seems arbitrary at best.
Yeah,
It
how
is
is-
arbitrary.
And you know
How
my
is-
favorite part about the phased approach is they actually established guidelines that were numeric, that like are black and white. And they were like, if we
Yeah.
adhere to this, we go to phase one. We never adhered to it, and they went phase one, let's do it. And it's all because they were starting to like they told us they had a numerical value. And then they just threw it out the window and said phase one. And then we're surprised that they're pulling back and push. Well, you didn't even follow your own numerical value. Like you had a
Yeah.
formula and you just threw it out the window. And that's why you get people like Mayor Stoney here in Richmond going, hey guys, I was looking at the numbers and we're nowhere near. And so now he's making his own decisions. And that's either the death of him as far as politically or the future of him. If he's right,
He can do no wrong.
It's a scary situation, though. Like,
Yeah.
People love that dude.
and I'm not talking about the virus. I'm talking about politically. It's got to be scary as shit for these people to try to make the move, because this is their whole career. This is what they've hung their hat on. And trust me, they're not staying up late at night thinking about how many people are going to die or how bad the economy is. They're like, what's the right move so that I'm the winner, so that I get to keep progressing my career? That is what keeps them up at night. Don't get it twisted that they're worried about your job or your well-being. They got to figure out their job.
It's all about term limits.
The term limits would be helpful. Stu, fuck it. I might have just agreed with you. Wow, that was weird.
Term limits are
Don't
just
do
like,
that.
term limits to me don't move the needle that much. I mean, like, yeah, that's cool and all.
No, but if you know you cannot get elected, then he's like, you might make a decision that's in the best interest of the people.
I mean, I think
or the flip side of that is then you're scrambling to make as much money as you can while you're there.
So you might start taking the handout.
More, yeah.
yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
God.
I mean,
You got to figure out a way to pull money out of politics somehow. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah. This is funny. This sounds like our after podcast conversations. That's usually where we get a little smarter.
does anybody know how to give COVID to two dogs?
Back to
Because
the
they
poop
just
jokes.
made
Troy
me
just
go
looked at
away.
me and went like, he gave the sign. I looked down. We've been an hour 45 minutes in. So I think we did
wow.
just go into the after conversation.
Anybody got a good poop joke to kick this off back to where it was?
Well, yours was what? How many metric tons, Ely, at the beginning?
Ooh, good question.
Actually, I do have a positive. I would like to say congratulations.
You're positive?
I just want to say
Oh,
congratulations to Chris and Sam on their nuptials this weekend. They're getting married.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to them.
Cheers.
I'm
Hell
excited they're getting married. It's a strange time to get married, and it's the first virtual wedding I will have ever attended. I think
That
that's
is weird.
that's a little odd, but
I'd much rather be there.
I would too. I would
I'm
too.
with you.
I would like to take a shot.
Yeah,
with
shit like
somebody.
that. Like, so that's kind of my point. Stuff like that, I wouldn't even think twice about going.
I
Never.
honestly, and I'm probably the one who's most freaked out of the four of us. I would go to that because it's a special, and maybe that would be all of our detriment, but that's a special occasion, man. But they have to do this shit virtually now, and that kind of sucks. But I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah,
Congratulations
that sounds
to
horrible.
you guys. Like,
But awesome at the same time.
yeah, like I'm excited that
I mean,
you
there's
adapt
there's
and
a lot of
overcame.
firsts for a lot of things. So
Look, in a marriage, if you can't adapt
You
and
gotta save
overcome,
a shit ton of money, though, right? Probably winter. Silver lining is it saving a shit ton of money.
Dollar bills.
It
Oh my
depends.
God.
Depends on how many HD cameras they have there.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's in
Well, they all-
3D.
They just get that Korean dude to superimpose some people.
They all
Yeah,
up in the
exactly.
bedroom.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm gonna send 100 sex dolls to the church.
to fill the
to be
rows,
safe.
to fill the rows.
That would be great.
And we should put our names on them. Say,
Dude,
"Hey,
we
listen,
should
Brendan's
fill-
there."
Intentionally, I'm gonna put the vast majority on the sex dolls on the groom side because that dude's a perv.
No, what we do is we get dolls and we put our names on all of them and we set them up like we're there.
We could do it the day before.
This is
They wouldn't
your
even know.
sex doll flower girl. This is your sex doll ring bearer.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just wheel her down. She's got flowers in her
Nowhere at
butthole.
all.
You guys just took a really, really nice comment and just drove it down. It's like, congratulations, guys. Here's the rest of
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast, dude. I don't know if you're new here.
No, but
Yeah.
Stu, I'm glad you reeled me back in a little bit there. You're right. I was literally putting flowers in a sex doll's butt. I need to back it up.
This wedding just got fun.
Yeah.
Tell me you don't want to be there. Tell
Yeah.
me you don't want to be there.
Join the Zoom meeting late night.
Oh, trust me. The sex doll I send, part of me is going to be there.
Yeah.
The creamy
it's
center.
horrible.
Don't kiss that. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
The creamy.
Why would
center.
you do that?
Oh, my God. Put a mask on that doll.
Yeah.
Why is that doll drooling?
Holy shit. Yeah.
I'm all super happy that we're getting married.
She looks excited.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was not the angle this was supposed to go.
Walk that one back, Brendan.
No,
Yeah,
I was-
exactly.
I really did want to give a heartfelt congratulations. That was really,
You just did.
that was
You
the
still
point.
can. You still can.
Are there any objections? Well, there's 17 sex dolls in the rows over here.
There's
Oh.
30
I
O-faces
feel like
out
they need
there.
an audience. We need to work this out.
They all look shocked.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God.
There's
Yeah.
50 surprise faces out there. I don't know where it came from.
What are they so aghast?
Why are they so shocked?
What did you do?
Oh, now you can't tell them that you give them a shout out.
I know.
You were gonna tell me you give them a shout out in another episode. Now you can't do that.
I just wanted to say congratulations.
It only took us an hour and 40 to get to the good part of the podcast.
They're all shocked and doing the robot, apparently.
But their nipples are so hard. They're so excited.
It's cold in there, and they're shocked.
Okay.
Wow.
I would try to bring it back. Congratulations,
Reel it
guys.
back in. Hey guys,
Oh,
Good luck.
congrats!
congratulations. Happy go lucky.
Thanks for sending us a link.
Yeah, I'm looking for
We'll
it.
be there.
Oh my
Spirit
God.
and in latex.
Oh,
Hopefully it's not a two-way conversation link.
That's not how YouTube works.
I know. I'm just saying. Wow.
I think that's by design.
if you're getting
It's not a
married,
Zoom.
if you're getting married, insurance is probably on your mind.
Yeah.
Call
'Cause
Ryan
there's
Parker.
a bunch of flammable sex dolls in your.
Call Ryan Parker at Tao Insurance, 804-855-4567. Thank you so much for the beer, man. We appreciate it. And congratulations to Chris and Sam. That was not how I wanted that to go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm sorry, I'm still having a hard time. Oh, shit.
It's the
if
best
you-
wedding. It's the best wedding ever.
If you haven't had a chance to reach out to us on our Facebook page, please do. Or you can always reach out to us on Gmail at InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com. We also can be found at ITPH Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you put ITPH in the coupon code at RealDoll, you get 10% off.
The cops are alerted.
I can't stop. And keep in mind, you can only have 9 real dolls in your house if it's just you. That's
Yep.
the law.
We don't make the rules. We just enforce them.
That's just how it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?